Okay,
I forgot my booties.
We got the big dogs are coming down here checking out the operation. That's exactly. We got at least one guy here that's into the Old Testament. That's me.
You want to come on the couch?
Yeah, you want to sit down? Look at it. We got Matt Biolas has had to check the scene.
Oh yeah, he's got multiple angles. It wasn't breaking when we were here earlier.
The tide's dropping.
We saw little man paddle out.
What do you think of our setup, Matt? This is our low profile deal. No, this is First Amendment rights. We're a news channel reporting on surf news.
Yeah, they've got it all down. Pops, did Pops give you the...
Yeah, we got the lawyer on the line. He's in Mexico surfing. Oh, cannon backside. Two-turn combo. We're getting your son's clips,
so we can just watch on the screen. This is epic. It's like a live
Come on,
event.
Matt.
Here.
We're already sucking big dogs in here.
I'll move over.
You don't want to comment on your Grom squad out there?
On little man.
We got a quick cameo from Mayhem.
Were you up on the cliff
Look
up there?
This is
I was telling him that's where the old dogs hang. Up on the cliff over there.
Where?
Up over here. That's where like there's always someone watching the waves.
There he goes right there.
Yeah.
Roundhouse wrap.
Is that a black sheep? It looks like a black deck.
Black sheep.
Rad.
Black sheep.
That's what I got over here.
Black lives.
Is this where the kids?
We're squeezed in.
Is this where the kids come down every morning? Is this the routine lately?
My kid doesn't really come down every morning. But all the contest kids are into it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty much between here and Trestles. Nowhere else, unfortunately, breaks anymore.
Yeah.
There was waves down at the old beach breaks last
Look
year.
at, we're gonna get a replay. Cannon.
Cannon car.
He's on like a driver round pintail. Like, I don't know.
Everything's like, oh yeah, this one's pretty good. He's never actually said a board's good. It's always just pretty good.
As the kids get older, do they start figuring out, giving you more feedback?
Yeah, especially when they jump up and down on their boards and break them on the scaffolding.
That's what about this guy? Feedback. Carcass, they call him.
Karkin?
Carcass.
Grouchy boy? I always draw little grouchy faces on his boards.
Who would be actually, I've never asked you this, who gives you the best feedback on boards? Or who do you, like communicating wise, and then also, like is there people that are like write it and they're straight giving you info, or is it, you have a massive team. Who do you like inspire from the most?
Punched it right there, but.
You know, you have to use the best you got. So, you know, guys like Griffin and Kolohe and Yago, you know, you got to trust what they tell you. Griffin gets he keeps it pretty simple. Kolohe gets a little manic. He's all over the map sometimes, you know, changing around this, that, and the other. But in the end, you know, boards usually work.
I remember one time back in the day when I could actually surf, he called me for some feedback. I didn't know what to say, and you never called me again. Yeah.
Nah.
You said well, I remember one time, and I just went duh, and then you never called me again.
I don't think so.
The other first
not for feedback, for like just ask me what kind of board I would like. It was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Jolani.
Yeah. And then you never asked me that again because I just went, dirt? I don't know.
Yeah, you know, the better the surfer doesn't always mean the better the input. Sometimes it's those mid-tier guys who are really really technical, and they need that board to be just perfect for them to compete with the surfers that are better than them. Even I'm talking like a really good surfer, like maybe like a Nate Yoemans here, or who was on the world tour, but maybe wasn't really one of the 20 best surfers in the world, you know what I mean? But
that I wasn't.
Yeah. And or a guy like, say, Michael Dunphy, who's like in his early mid 30s now, and he's still like winning contests on the domestic tour and competing against all these kids with the way bigger bags of tricks. But he's like, he's pretty clean and sharp and well spoken and well described with his feedback on boards. A little more like pedestrian, you know. So he's actually really good to work with. It. We never worked with him until after he turned 30. And the last couple of years, he's been fun and interesting to work with.
That's cool to hear.
Yeah.
Wasn't Shane Beshin like really hard on the feedback back in the day?
Was, yeah, but you know, and he was, yeah, Beshin was great. He was a turning point for me because he was a turning point for me because Chris Ward and Corey, they were pretty loose and not very picky. You know, they're just teenagers going crazy, blowing people out with just their talent. When Beshin was like the first guy who really kind of like pushed me, made it harder on me, and forced me to pay attention and do better. He was nitpicking me.
Carcass.
Carcass?
that's what Nate's calling him.
Carcass. He's like a grandpa in a what? How old is he? 10-year-old's body.
It's like 12 or something.
12.
Yeah.
What kind of approach do you take to shaping a little tiny board like that compared to a Nate Yoemans board?
Yeah, you know, it's become so commonplace now, the little boards. It's you get used to them. At first, we used to say, oh, they're harder to see because everything's smaller and harder to get right. But it's so common now to have all these little kids surfing at a high level that we make hundreds and hundreds of them a year. And you get them pretty wired, you know, working with like teeny tiny little kids like Corey's kid and
Even your son, right?
Lopez,
I mean, it's not,
what?
that's even your kid. Like,
well, my kid's, you know, he's a modest surfer. He knows how to surf, but he's not like super psycho focused. He's not really crazy picky and trying to win heats. So he just kind of, he's my kid's cool to work with because he's more like the average kid that knows how to surf. And if a board's easy for him to catch waves and do turns and compete in the lineup, then it's good. You know, then that's probably the right board for kids to go and buy at a shop. But working with like really focused elite little guys like Luke Lopez or even this like little kids, well, like Aaron Brooks, you know, when she was riding 410s, 411s, but even 10 years ago when Eli was riding 4.8s, 410s, 411s, the level of surfing, like the sub 5 foot boards for me probably, it's this.
Oh, we got live. Maybe it's Chloe and Dina
maybe
or
it's
someone
the
calling.
president. Oh, it's my buddy in Mammoth wondering where the hell I am. Yeah. Yeah. So the little boards really kicked into gear. I would say, you know, that, like, I don't really remember making sub 5 foot boards for Kaloe. You know, Dina had them in 5.2s when he was 10 years old, but then like Eli, even maybe Griffin, but probably like the Eli generation is when you really started working on 4.8s and 4.10s. And now like Carson and Cannon, they were riding 4.6s, Zion Walla, like all these little kids in town that are really ripping at a tiny young age. There's a kid, Hennings, Moses Hennings, he rides like 4.6s, and he surfs like a little.
I think I started on a 6.0 and
Yeah.
never went below 5.11.
Yeah.
Look at Carson. Whoa, rap. That was sick.
hey, you want to know? My first Mayhem ever was a Matt King trade-in.
Kinger.
I was at a contest and my board broke. He let me ride his board.
Yeah.
And it was a Mayhem, and I was like, "Holy crap! This thing is
I heard
amazing."
Kinger's like fully MIA.
I haven't heard of Kinger. Have you
Yeah,
heard
he's
of
been
Kinger?
gone for years. Here's
Yeah.
another kid on your board.
Who's that?
Look, thought I seen that Mayhem logo down there.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be. I was gonna say it's got to be
Kinger,
cool.
he won a couple comps, right? A couple,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
won some
couple
QSs.
1-stars and
He won a
stuff.
San Miguel contest.
Then he
I
started.
heard he disappeared in Northern Baja.
I heard he disappeared too. He's been missing since his starring role in Here Today, Gone to Cabo.
Here today, gone to Cabo. Yeah, that was like
That's
his,
a gold piece.
that was his peak. That was his peak of exposure, but it was already after his
Yeah.
kind
He,
of
he
slide
had won
into the
some
abyss.
QSs though. I mean, to win a QS is no joke. That's for sure.
You ever win a QS, Joe?
Me, no way. I never even competed in a QS.
He smashed the Newport contest though not long ago.
Oh sure,
This
I
summer.
can win the amateur
The
condos
Pro-Am.
at
You
56.
were like it comboed the guys.
Yeomans won the Newport thing 3 times in a row.
What's the,
the
Newport
QS.
thing?
There was
the
a Newport Beach
56
QS
event.
championship. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's been going on a long time, right?
So-
I think it's
Yeah.
been going since like the 80s.
So what's the couch surf?
This is our news couch surfing show. We're just making noise. We're reporting live. We're showing people that we can do all this live stuff, and we don't need 8 people to do it. There's just 3 of us here going
3 of you.
live.
And-
Replay segments. You want a segment? Let's cue up. Nate's won some contests. Can we cue that up?
Yeah, no doubt.
You want to cue up some Nate Glory Days
Oh, so
contest?
he's like the guy on Joe Rogan that finds everything
this
on
is
the internet.
It's
huh?
a podcast meets webcast meets news show all wrapped
it's like,
into one.
He's like Joe's sidekick that finds like everything that ever existed on the internet.
Yeah,
Boom,
we're gonna find
drop
all
it.
the Yeomans.
I found out it's
Glory
Omar.
Days.
Omar.
Is
This is
that
our
his name?
business
Omar.
partner, Omar.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Omar.
Yeah. He put all this together. I couldn't figure this shit out.
Omar Sharif.
Yeah, there he is.
What?
Oh, you
He's
even
a
got
wizard.
a camera over there.
He's got a
Oh, yeah.
camera. Noah's got a camera.
You make it look like a big production.
Noah's filmed such big surfers as Chloe Andino for a long time.
Nolani.
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 Okay, little man.
Nulani. Julani.
Here we go, Cannon. Backside snap.
No, what's rad about him? He freaking absolutely rushes. Like in
What?
Hawaii, he rushes. Like in Hawaii and heavy waves, he goes. And he's, how old is he now? 15? No, he's driving.
16.
Driving, yeah.
I mean, not most 16-year-olds over there aren't going on waves.
Who's this
like,
guy?
That's your new team rider.
who's that guy? That's me in a couple more
Got the
years.
tinted twin thing, that's for sure. Yeah.
What was T Street like for you when you first started surfing here? What was the vibe down here? Was it gnarly locals? Was it Martin Potter? Who was down here when you first started surfing here?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever surfed here till.
Oh, wait. Here's Yeoman's
well, there
Glory
he is.
Days. Cold Water Classic right here.
So this is good to have Mayhem here. I got to confess. So this board is actually a Mayhem because I was having like troubles getting good boards.
Ooh,
And I won the
secret.
event on a Mayhem, and I had to spray the logo out.
Yeah, but was that you were on Rusty?
Yeah.
But you had a full sponsorship, clothes, boards,
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I still
I
have that
remember
board. I found it in the rafters recently.
Look at
I was
that
up there
chest
cleaning
bump right
Whoa.
there.
Dude, I was so I was so
You'd think
pumped.
you just won the world title or something.
I did in my mind. That was a prime, bro. I won some 1-stars. I was
That was a
so
prime.
psyched.
So that's a
was-
Mayhem.
The board that I was riding was a Mayhem. The one on the up on the. Dude, I broke my ribs right there.
You did?
Yeah, I got.
Hey, you got some
smashed.
pipe waves just this winter, huh?
I know.
Yeah.
You're
Look at
just
it.
out there. This
Highest
is your
rated
second
rep.
cold water win.
Dude, that's the V3
That's
rocket.
the V3 rocket, huh?
Yeah, that board's amazing.
Yeah, you could tell by that barrel.
Oh, here's some more recent stuff. Lost days. Lost nose sticker days.
I
You
think
had
your
no
brother shot
sticker?
this.
Isn't this like inside church or something?
Yeah, inside churches.
Really?
And this
You
is
can't
like
even
when the
surf there anymore. There's like 80 guys on 9-foot gliders out there.
Noah
man.
shot this stuff.
yeah, I
Water
was gonna
stuff.
say I knew he shot some of this stuff. How old is your brother? You've been doing it forever.
I know.
Nolani.
You're like
He's like early, late, mid 30s.
he's like one of the guys on
Mid-late
like
It's the
30s.
lounge.
he's like
Where's that?
Clohhead that's been on tour so
T
long. You
Street?
think he's kind of old, but he's actually like still a Grom.
Whoa, look at this
Right?
double up.
Chloe will always be a Grom to me.
Chloe's the man, dude. I love that guy.
Okay.
He's just a good human being, and
There
he
you
surfs
were.
exceptionally well.
Winning some comps. We couldn't find the Newport footage, but you won 3 QSs in a row there.
Yeah, those
Which is
I know it's
pretty
pretty rad.
impressive.
We used to go the first year I won it. We went to Takeo, the local sushi bar karaoke spot here in town.
I wish it was still there.
And then I won it the next year. I'm like, we're going back to karaoke. And then we won it the year before, and somehow Slater showed up at one of them, and the guy's got like an amazing voice. Actually,
He loves to show up.
I was like, dude, it's big time. Slater's
Like,
at
whoa.
the thing.
I hit the big time. Slater's here. Oh,
Here's
how'd
the
they let
wave.
that guy go?
Hey, it's this morning literally wasn't breaking,
Look
right?
at Cannon out the back. Yeah, we were worried.
Yeah.
We pulled up. I'm like, it's like a lake, but hopefully
It
when
was
the
like a
tide
6-foot
drops.
tide, and yeah, now there's that window. The tide will get too low, and the wind will come up in an hour and a half. It'll be over. Yeah, you asked about locals and who was gnarly. When I first started surfing here, I think Bob Clark was the gnarly guy. I remember paddling out on some kind of a good swell. It was like the right was breaking way outside, and it didn't seem like it went as fat and flat out the back like it does now. Maybe it was, I don't know. And Bob, I got like 3 or 4 waves, and this old kind of crusty, skinny, wiry longboarder kind of local guy, Bob Clark, paddled up and goes, "You're kind of feisty. You need to slow down a bit. I don't even know who you are." And I was
On a longboard or
yeah,
shortboard?
he was on
longboard.
like an '80s rockered out tri-fin longboard when they used to like do
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and Yeah, he kind of snapped on me. That was my introduction to T Street.
Couple snappers out here.
Yeah.
Mike Beshin wasn't the friendliest guy.
Mike
back
Beshin
then.
snaps out here. Yeah.
He used to
was a
snap at me.
snapper.
Is that Shane's dad?
Yeah.
Shane's dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a crew, and then there
Same
was
era.
funny.
That was that era. Yeah.
It was a whole different crew here, and then 100 yards down the beach was the pier, and that was a whole different crew of guys.
The pier was like dirty then. It was scary. It was like
Yeah. As a Grom, I was like, yeah, you'd get rousted for sure.
there was no parents on the beach filming.
Oh,
I remember
that's for
seeing
sure.
like, I was like middle
Look at
school.
we got Cole Houshman. We got all the big dogs are showing up here.
See, I told my son, let's get down there before all the rivers show up and take all the waves.
Don't they just bow down to your kid though? They're like, oh, I can't give this guy some waves. Shaper's gonna
Yeah.
be bummed.
Little man, no, little man's respectful, but it's rad because he's got confidence. Like,
Yeah.
How old is he? 14. He just like
13.
carries himself like, yeah, he's got confidence. I see him out. It lowers a lot. And
I mean, just being around all those guys, the surf IQ must get like higher than the normal surf kid. Being around all the big dogs.
it doesn't seem to phase him. I don't think he really
He
cares.
doesn't really pay much attention.
He doesn't.
No, he's not impressed.
He's
He
not
always stays
impressed.
true to himself. He's just kind of
Yeah.
he's
Oh.
rad.
Oh,
Cannon.
car.
Snap, rap.
This guy's getting the score for
Is
sure.
he gonna beach it for us? Bang.
Right in front of the Persian powerhouse.
Matt's phone's always ringing.
That part's pretty good. It's pretty good. John Walla. Oh,
He's probably up on the cliff
They're
somewhere.
probably up at the
sorry,
cliff.
John. We're live.
We're live. We're on the couch surfing show.
Yeah,
Matt
Couch-
Biolas, one of the biggest names in shaping, showed up.
that's Ian McPhillips' daughter.
There's so many second generation surfers down here already. It's crazy.
I can't remember her name.
I forget her first name.
Well,
I can think it's
she's on the
Addie.
couch surfing
Addison
show.
McPhillips.
Yep.
Addison McPhillips.
Uncle's a 3-time world champion.
And dude, when I was a kid, her dad was like one of my favorite surfers.
He
in town.
rips.
He was the captain of the surf
He's
team,
all
which
gnarly,
was
like a high tide inside old man writes on a fish. Him and the other one, your other buddy, Drummy. They're
Chris
like the beer
Drummy?
belly rippers. They surf that inside right at Old Man's at high tide. They'll be on the beach, like holding court. Then they go out there on a little fish and they just absolutely destroy that wave.
That's good to hear he's surfing. I always just see him on the beach with
Who?
his daughter out. Are you talking about who? Ian?
Both Ian McPhillips.
Yeah. I don't see him surfing much. He's always on the beach, like watching his daughter or dropping her off somewhere. But
Yeah. Well,
He's-
you got to raise your kids.
he's super talented. He's got a gut too. He's got a dad bod, which is even
Dad
better
bod.
because he throws some spray. He's
We
on
were
the
in-
board riders team.
We were in Hawaii last week.
He must
Went over
rip. He's
to
on the
kinda
board
support
riders.
the team and hang out during the pipe event. And my son in the mornings was going surf like Eakai Beach Park, Little V-Land, all these with all the other kids. All these like snappy, quick little waves. And he's like, "You gonna surf? You can surf." Oh man, I want to go to a dad bod wave. So I made him go to Lonnie's with me.
Sick.
It was like a northwest swell, and it was just like a big day
like
at
Point
Trussell.
Break.
Just rights peeling everywhere. Dad bods. Then we were surfing like Sunset Point. Dad bod. That's what I was calling
Sunset
the waves.
Point's fun. It's a little
Yeah.
cool. Know what wave I like that is mellow too is camis. It's like this little
Where?
slingshot right camis,
Camis,
like right
yeah.
across the channel from Sunset, and there's no one ever out. It's like a couple moms, a couple old guys, and you get a ton of waves.
Cami went. Look at here's some gnarly locals paddling out with their Jerry Lopez soft tops.
I want to see.
There we go.
There we go.
Get the clip. Back zip and everything.
Where's Hushman? He's got
When was
to
the
be
last
out
time you
there.
wore a back zip full suit?
They've kind of like come back into like.
I've seen a
being
couple,
cool.
yeah. They're
Really? They
Cool
hurt
again.
Reynolds,
Yeah.
Dane Reynolds wears it,
I
so
can't
they're
keep
like
my
kids
neck
want it
up.
now.
I'm like,
They get flushed. I like the front zip's the way to go.
Hmm?
The front zip.
Yeah, the flap.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flap zip.
Who's that?
Oh,
Oh.
that's the kid. I think we call him Yoda.
Yoda Grom.
I should know his name, but he's
know
in
that
the
kid's
water.
name?
I should know his name. I'm so bad with names, but he's out all the time too.
Here we go.
This is my boy. It looks like.
There's the boy.
This little section.
You could tell he doesn't try as hard as some of those other boys.
But how good is he on the snow? I like watching him. His little clips he put up.
Yeah,
Freaking tears into it.
yeah, he got into that. We put a lot of time into the snow. We're actually going to go. He's going up in about a half an hour with his mom.
Is he? Isn't it snowing all this week?
Next week.
Forecast
Next
looks
week
good?
is like a week of nonstop snow.
Wow.
This has been like an insane winter for that, right?
Yeah, we've had incredible days. Like, I think I've got almost 30 powder days already this season.
The only bummer
What
to that,
about,
everyone's buying snowboards and not buying surfboards.
Not buying surfboards.
They're buying
speaking of that,
surfboards, but
you guys. So Nate is the Lost Surfboard rep.
Yeah.
You're obviously the head of Lost Surfboards. What are you guys working on? Anything new in the works? What do we got to look forward to?
There's always fun new stuff.
Always fun new stuff. What's the latest model? What can I go to Jack's right now and buy? That's the newest
we're waiting
of
on
the
POs
new.
from Jack's, actually. I've been going up there for
Or
meetings trying to get
Catalyst. I
boards
mean,
in there.
you should go into Catalyst. What can I get at Catalyst? What would you recommend right now? If I'm just like, I need a board.
What have we
want a
just
Lost
released
board.
a couple early releases for this. We did the new MR collab, the California pin,
Oh yeah.
2+1 little pintail ripper sticker, and
That looks sick.
we
what was
and
the
we've got
black dart stuff or
black sheep,
black sheep?
black dart, yeah, carbon. You know, it's all the rage. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a cool email last night, though. Matt sent over that we got some new boards coming out, and he wants to make sure we get in the kids at the store and say,
Yeah.
hey, let's hook them up, give them a good deal, get them on the new boards, get them hyped, which is rad because most of those guys are minimum wage. So any way you can help them out, get a new board under their feet, and then it's that mixtape board is coming out. There's the
This board's pretty good.
I
Pretty
also
good.
heard you guys are working on a new rendition of the 5.5 19.25 film.
Yeah, we've been working on it. We actually made, an hour version. It's just once you start a project, all the clips are coming in and more and more and more, and everybody gets involved. And next thing you know, you've got like a War and Peace. You got like a 300-page essay. So we did through the winter, we did a live viewing tour. We did visited shops all around the country and a couple movie theaters and bars, and we did almost 30 like premiere parties. Some of them were like really well attended, like 400 people here in San Clemente, 400 people on the North Shore of Wailua.
I was on that North Shore and it was packed.
Crazy, right? So we did it. We did it live, and it's like all through December. If you want to see this movie, you have to show up. Malibu, San Diego, up and down the East Coast. It was a lot of fun, getting people to come out and do something cool together. And now we're sort of like, the thing is, the project's so big and expansive and long, we're kind of working on how we're going to break it up and roll it out episodically. And it's like a series, 4 to 6 episodes. And
Like Game of Thrones, but Redux.
Yeah.
5.5 Game of Thrones.
Maybe not Game of Thrones. That was like 100 episodes. That was quite the thing.
Little man.
Little man. Little
That's a
carb
nice
boy.
wrap.
What board's he
That was
on?
a sick wrap.
He's on like a board that's too small and corky.
small.
That's like the Mason Ho model. Yeah.
Little wing.
Little wing.
Carbon. It's like 2 inches shorter than him, and I've been telling him to stop riding it. It's too small. But he don't listen.
That's what kids do, right? Your kids?
Yeah.
I try to
Carson
tell my
replay.
kids.
Look at that
Oh,
form.
Oh.
Bang.
Look how small he is. It's like double overhead, and it's 2 foot out
Dude,
there.
he's already out of pipe and stuff.
That
So,
kid's-
anyways, we're gonna do the episodes. We're gonna do like a series, 5.5 by 19.25 century.
Because it's been a quarter century since the first film,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
And all the big dogs will
Do you
be
have a
in
favorite
there.
part? Do you recall?
It's kind of, Kaloe made his own movie within a movie that's pretty rad. It filmed it in Gary, like old school Australian Point Break zone. And that's really kind of artsy and creative and different. I really like what he did with it. And then, there's a really cool thing that Griffin did at the surf ranch. It's hard to say, like a wave pool is my favorite part of the movie, but it's like transcendent. It's like it puts you in this weird headspace. The way we paired the music with the surfing he's doing, it's
The song's really good, I remember.
yeah. That's a cover of a Rush song, "Working Man." Just a really cool section. It's just different.
I really liked Rasta
I think that's my
Robs.
favorite part of the movie.
I like the Rasta Robs. He's serving like this little wedge.
Yeah, that's
somewhere on the
fun.
East
Like
Coast.
Slam Bam, thank you, man.
Is that
yeah.
Gorkin's replacement, Rasta Rob?
Yeah.
He's
the new
sick.
Gorkin.
I like him.
He rips.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch.
A lot of people might not know. Oh, look at all the gnarly guys are piling out.
Cade, who's that with him?
That's it
Jake?
looked like that's Cade. I thought it was Dane at first.
Oh.
So he's got a younger brother, Dane. There's like endless talent. pool.
Endless
It's
talent.
kinda
Everyone
freakish.
rips in this town. It's
There's
ridiculous.
a little blondie.
A lot of people might not know
I
this
think you're
map.
right. That might be.
Is that Jake? Davis? No.
That's not a little blondie. He's a big dummy.
A lot of people might not know this, but you actually kind of pick all the music and all the Lost
Not all,
videos.
but that's
You're
kind of
heavily influenced.
Yeah.
So there's the Persian powerhouse.
Oh, how's that?
That kid.
That was like powerful, but yet released fins something or other.
If he could make the CT and get through the QS thing, he could be on there a long time.
Yeah,
He
I was
surfs
actually had
so
a
good
good
in big
feeling
waves.
about him last year. I was like, this guy throws chunks and is
Cole
so
Houshman.
powerful.
We're talking about Cole Houshman.
Houshman.
Yeah. Big, burly boy.
Oh.
Yeah, like 6'3", 200+ pounds.
He's massive.
He's massive.
What size board's he riding? Like a short board.
6'1", 19 and a half, 2 5/8, 32 and a half liters. Like, yeah, big. Probably the biggest board of any pro surfer. He's bigger than Jordy.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting how guys like that are.
Oh, we
that
got Teddy
talented.
Navarro chiming in. There we go.
Oh, what? You guys are getting messages.
We got
on
comments. We got everything. Omar knows how to do all this shit.
Teddy Pendergrass.
Here. Teddy used to be a San Clemente staple. Then he just kind of he used to be at Uppers
Yeah, he
on
used to
the
show
daily.
up at Uppers.
And he doesn't. He should bring his kid
He's
down here.
he's
still come
he's
Teddy.
like
Why
head
don't you come back?
HB. We just had Shreddy on last episode.
He's Whittier's finest. He used to come down here like he'd be
Yeah.
at Uppers every morning. Him and Bane Wetzel, which I think Bane's still doing it, but no, he moved
Yeah,
north.
he kind of showed up with him. There's another guy, Brett Medlin. Him and
was
Teddy
hanging
kind
out.
of showed up together, and Brett still holds it down at Uppers. He's
that's
kind of
me.
the enforcer out there now.
Yeah, these guys are like businessmen. They're getting calls everywhere.
Well,
Look at Jake Davis, right, dude? I called it.
yeah.
I could tell all these guys. I
It
used to be a
is.
surf filmer. Could
Jake
film all these
Davis.
guys.
Little Blondie. He's nothing little about him, especially his ego.
Carson. We knew we'd get some good sound bites from Matt.
Yeah.
What else? What about we got some new stuff at Yoemans. Or what do you want? The Quiver section? Oh, yeah, the news. Let's roll the news segment. We have like segments, like a news show.
Segments.
from what
Yeah.
the contest.
No, we're just going to, because we're a news show, we're going to report on some
Okay,
surf
damn.
news.
Oh, that's why you can get away with all this because you're news.
Let's
Yeah,
talk
so
about the
you gotta run with
trannies. Tranny
Yeah,
posts.
I knew you'd want to bring that up.
Let's talk about trannies.
We're gonna
Is that me again?
look at this segment. Noah filmed all this stuff. All right. So our big surf news is that Vans is not sponsoring the U.S. Open this summer. I don't know if that means anything. Maybe someone else will pick it up, but
Bank of the West.
yeah.
That's a big event. They're gonna need someone big. Alani Media, dude, with your guys' equipment, you could kind of. Film
Oh
it
yeah,
for
we could
something.
do all that.
Pro bono. That'd be in the budget.
So yeah, I don't know. That's our vanilla, non-controversial
You know,
news.
sometimes smaller is better.
Smaller's better. Okay.
That's
Will
what I
it
tell
will
my
it still
wife.
happen?
Oh, it'll happen in some form, one way or the other. Yeah.
I mean, Vans
Is it gonna be
must
the
have
last,
Vans must
US
have
Open?
buku bucks because every person I know has a pair of Vans.
I think
Yep.
it's like most of the time you go down there now, it's people aren't even going down there for the surf contest. It's more just like a giant scene. I think what Matt said, like if it got toned down and a little more rootsy and actually based around the surf. I don't know. It got like a couple of years ago, I went down there when the concerts were going on, and it was freaking madness. I didn't
Yeah.
like going. It's too much for me. I think if someone step up, it'd be cool if it was like old school. I think they should bring back the buoy too and have paddle battles.
Paddle
I'd like
battle.
To see that
That would
also.
be fun.
As a
Some
board
elbows
builder, I
going.
think it's a really cool event. Kind of forces you to make up boards that work in a flat face wave and then still quick enough to throw up that big closeout maneuver. It's always fun to just study everyone the way they deal with that very difficult wave.
The mid-flat
The
section.
mid-flat to the closeout, and then everybody thinks they have to ride a groveler, but the next thing you know, you're on a 2-foot overhead closeout left, and you got to do a big Hail Mary turn right before the pier, then skate through the flats, and it's fat, and your board has to go all the way through there, and then a short, dumpy, hollow closeout. It's a dynamic little wave for designing boards, and I hope it doesn't go away. I don't care if it has the whole circus on the beach, but it's great just to see all the surfers from around the world do their thing out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a historical event, too. You've had a lot of success there. Corey and Shay, Julian Wilson, a bunch of people.
Yago,
a bunch of girls, too.
Griffin, and Alejo Muniz. We've had like 7 or 8 wins out there. Yeah.
He won. Yeah, that's right. He won it. Alejo
Yeah.
Muniz.
He beat Chloe in the final. That was kind of a
Ooh,
bittersweet,
bittersweet on that
depressing
one.
little thing. Yeah. I think we had all 4 finals.
We got top story again. Oh, it's the outro. And we're out of the news.
Oh,
Now we're going to talk about something else.
We don't get to talk about the trannies. Isn't that
No,
big
I mean,
news?
Matt always wants to bring up the controversial stuff.
Yeah.
Sure, talk about it.
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
No,
Yes, no?
I just think everybody has a right to live their life the way they want, of course. But I just think it's unfair and it's unjust. And I think that the WSL just kind of jumped the gun on making a ridiculously unneeded announcement like that.
Right.
Having 2 daughters too, like for them to compete against someone that's not biologically a female is just like, especially she's 10 and plays soccer and stuff, and just the difference would be insane. It is inspiring though. I was thinking about, maybe trying out some of these drugs. I could finally crack the top 20 and have a career.
Yeah.
Make the top 5.
What do you think?
Maybe if you cut it off. Like, you know what? You want to surf in the women's event? Cut the thing off. Then we'll talk.
I'm still confused on how that all works anyway. So that's as far as I'll go.
Work.
But all right, we got some controversial topics. That's probably the real news
killer.
topic.
Put a wig
Killer
on him.
Cade, holy crap!
He had didn't he have back surgery? He
Yeah,
had
he
some
had
sort of
back surgery.
operation. But
Yeah. They shaved down a herniated disc in his back.
Because he grew too fast or something?
Huh?
Like growing spurt thing?
I just think, when you're the size of some of these kids and you twist and torque your body
Yeah.
350 days a year the way they do, things are bound to go wrong.
Cade's a big guy too. He's a big kid.
Jordy Smith, he had back problems all through his 20s. And seems like he's kind of got it under control now, This guy lost 3-4 years of his life to back problems.
Yeah.
super severe back problems.
Yeah.
And now it's so rad. He was non-existent in the water, like Matt said, for like 5 years. And now it's rad. He's out in the water. And
Now he's
Jake
omnipresent.
Davis.
And now he's on every best. So he's like the new Shea Lopez. He's on every best wave.
Oh, look at that
wherever he's
inside
at.
snap. That was cool. So, Matt, how did you come up with the Mayhem logo? Because I can spot that thing a mile away. And
Not on that board.
Not on that board, but all these other guys seem to have it.
I drew it when I was in high school. It was about 16 maybe.
So that's a hand-drawn.
Hand-drawn.
That is sick.
Yeah.
What made you want to place it in that placement? Usually everything was on the nose back in the day.
I had it on the nose for the first few years. In the 80s, it went across the nose, like the Rad Ripper bottle. You know, the big one across the nose. Yeah. We put it down low because the money started coming in if you wanted to have your logo on people's boards, you couldn't get up towards the top unless you had money. People want money to be up there. We never had any money. Yeah.
Well, it kind of worked out because every time someone would do a blowtail, that was the thing you'd see. And
Yeah, no one was doing blowtails there. No. Chop hops.
what do they say? Imitation's the biggest form of flattery. I see a lot of shapers are putting that thing down there nowadays.
It almost gets confusing, right?
Yeah, now I'm like,
is that
whoa.
Yeah.
What? I'm
Yeah.
like, usually like just anything down there a mile away, I'm a mayhem. But who knows?
I just think it's just about it. Nowadays, even more so, it's about financial real estate. Like if you look, DHD's got a lot of his team boards logos down there now, probably because he's catching hell from having it up, 2 feet off the nose, and the guys just can't have that much going on.
Oh, look at the Groms.
flexing.
They're flexing. They know they're on the couch surfing show and they're live, so
I don't think
they
River
want to get
has
their
any
clip.
idea.
Your Grom doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
But
know.
all
He
the
doesn't
other
know.
ones,
Yeah.
all the other ones do. They want their clips.
Cannon and Colt. What's his name?
Hushman?
Cannon and
Carcass.
Carcass.
You guys, did you bring them down so you'd have something going on in the background?
Yeah,
that
Cannon.
makes sense.
Cannon's up
Cannon's
next.
coming up here.
Nate's gonna go surf,
gonna
and then
put me out there.
Cannon's
Okay.
gonna go.
Yeah.
Speaking of clips, don't we have some? We got some new stuff with Nate on some new boards.
This board right here that I brought down, the Black Sheep
Yeah, I
Puddle
think-
Jumper Pro, that thing's so good for shitty waves like this. It's like a crutch for
The Puddle
40-year-old
Jumper.
men.
Yeah.
thing's
Plug that
epic.
thing. You
I
guys
like
designed
it.
that thing together?
I talked to Matt because I like
Right
the
here.
puddle
Oh,
jumper.
look at this. Is recent stuff. Look, you got pipe like last week.
That's not a puddle jumper.
Dude, you know what's funny is that I think it was
that's
literally
that's a tunnel spelunker.
that session. I was out there looking around. I'm like, holy shit, I'm the oldest guy in the lineup. Like, when did that happen?
I feel like that often.
Yeah, I was like, wow. And it's Groms with helmets and padded up vests, and they go.
You
but
know you're old when you feel like that at lowers.
yeah, you might be ancient. That's pretty old. There's some old. My pops is still out there all the time, which
Yeah.
is sick.
What's this Puddle Jumper Pro? You guys kind of worked on this together, or what was the?
Yes, the Nate Yoemans. There it is. That's a puddle jumper pro right there. The carbon
that's-
one.
yeah.
That's this board, right?
Yeah, that's this
Yeah.
board. The puddle jumper I liked, and I just was like, Matt, can you just gear it up and do a short board a little bit more, but
Sleek it up.
make it fun and still easy to ride?
It's actually
and
the,
carry
the,
speed.
the second step that way. We did the puddle
Yeah.
jumper, the puddle jumper HP, and then you had me sleek it up even more.
I was gunning for the puddle jumper deluxe, but Matt shut me down. He said, "Shut your mouth." If we're going with pro.
I think Ben shut you down. Yeah.
Ben, fuck, the truth comes out.
He
Yeah.
wanted the Yeoman's nickname on there.
That would have been the winning the Santa Cruz contest and getting a model with Mayhem, and then those are the two high points of my career.
Yeah, only so many people
What do you
have
think?
those
Some of
pro
them maybe in
models.
the future.
Puddle
Qualifying
Jumper
for the
Pro.
World Tour, that's a pretty big highlight.
That was cool, but it lasted 6 months, and then I got fucking cut.
Well, there's some other new- I mean,
Yeah, what do you think
Now
of that?
they're back to that.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Because
It's horrible.
that
Kind of
happened to
miserable.
you.
These guys
It
work
fu-
their
I
whole
got
life
so
to make
barred.
the tour, and it's like you're not even actually making the tour. It's like you're getting oh, it's really hard.
Cool.
Cole Houshman.
You know what the hardest part is just it's all new venues. You're around like the guys you watch growing up. At least for me, you watch growing up as a kid, and it's kind of you're just a little starstruck. And then by like midpoint, I made a couple heats. I'm like, okay, fuck, I can do this. And then all of a sudden, you start getting a little momentum. It's such a huge
Yeah.
learning curve, and then they just axe you as you're just kind of starting to adjust to how the surfing the events, man-on-man heats, new venues. It just doesn't give it's.
And you don't get to see
take
those great
so long to get onto there.
comebacks.
Yeah.
Like Wardo probably would have been off tour every year. He had to come back
At
every
Pipe every
time
year,
at Pipe, but
yeah.
it was epic when he would do that.
Yeah. There was it's rough. Like if they wanted all their reasoning is they're saying to make so they can run a contest in a shorter time period during a peak of a swell, and that's great. So my opinion is, call the tour a little, make it a few less, go down to 20. What are they doing? 36 in an event with the wild cards and everything. Take it down to maybe even 24. I don't know, 28. Take a certain amount of people off. Make it a quicker, shorter event, but give a man or a woman or a they or a thee or a the a whole season. You've earned it. You've worked your whole life to qualify, and then it's like sign. Last year there was like 4 new girls, and only one of the new girls stayed on tour. That was Gabby Bryant.
As a surf fan too, you kind of want to see those guys that make it surf every event. Like if there's a guy I'm a big fan of, I want to see him surf Chopu, but now there's like a big chance I'm never going to get to see
Exactly.
him surf Chopu.
The year I did it too, they cut it off like every guy's going to have their spots, their strengths are at, and like literally they
You
cut
don't
off
get.
a seat. It was at Chopu, and the next event was lower trestles.
They
Which could have been
cut it
my
off
event.
before your
Right
event.
before your
Which could have
hometown
been the event
event.
that I like, shit, who knows? Maybe you win the thing and you don't even get a chance. So yeah, it's just super
Is
unfair.
the cutoff before or after Margaret's this year?
I haven't.
After.
I think
I
it's
don't
after. Isn't it right before G-Land?
It's
I think
after
they go to
Margaret.
Australia. Like
So it's like 2 events in Hawaii, and then Margaret's, which is kind of like it's another sunset type of event, and one beat, and then Bells
Brazil?
and New Beach Break. It's
oh
it's not a great.
yeah, I think it's
representation.
Brazil, Bells, and Margaret's. Is there
Huh?
a Brazil one in there?
Brazil's
think
somewhere in there.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's
No?
Brazil.
Portugal.
Oh,
It's
Portugal.
5 events. It's Portugal, Bells, and Margaret's is all that's left. Yeah. And it's their business.
What's your vibe on
Private
the one
company, they can do
day?
whatever the hell they want.
What's your vibe on the one day crowning of a title?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
The first year they got lucky and it worked out. The right people won, you know. But for me, it's like, yeah, what Stephanie did was, you know, awesome to watch. And Toledo and Idolo both won, and they went in the lead seed, so that kind of worked out. And then Carissa the first year won; she went in as the lead seed. But when Carissa lost last year, for me, it was just like cutting my guts and spilling them out because she proved that she was the best surfer of the year on tour through the year. And if you remember, they buried a slogan that they ran for like 4 or 5 years. It takes a tour to crown a champ. So they put that one under the sand. That one's long gone. So it's kind of a bummer that you work so hard with this surfer, and you make boards for 10 different events, huge diversity of waves. Carissa's getting front side barrels, backside barrels, carving big open faces, 3 to the beach and beach breaks, doing a couple airs during the season, doing it all, right? Reef breaks, beach breaks, point breaks. And then she goes cold on a slightly onshore chest high sloppy day at Lowers. And Stephanie Gilmore, who obviously is incredible, got hot and surfed her way through and won the world title. But she won a big event. She didn't, to me, it's not the world title.
That's got to be interesting, too, being a shaper. I haven't really thought
As
of it
a
that
shaper,
way.
it's a gut
All you
wrenching.
invest into each event,
worked
making
so hard
boards
for
for
the whole
each
year.
location.
See if my kid can go fast on this one. Nope.
Has the condensed season made it like harder? You have to make more boards because all these events are like 5 in a row or whatever. Wasn't it more spread out before the tour?
I like that it's condensed. I like that they get a time off. I like having an off season to work on boards for the girls to clear their minds, to do some free surfing, to go on trips, maybe do something outside of surfing. So to get an off season, you kind of have to condense the tour. And I also like the Challenger Series and the CT not competing for your headspace so much. I think it's kind of cool in theory that they don't run necessarily at the same time as much. To me, it might even be cool to completely separate them. So you just have pro surfing all year round, but it's 2 different tours.
I really liked when I did it when they had legs. Like there used to be a Europe leg. There was obviously the Hawaii leg. There was Brazil had a leg. So you'd go in an event and like you start off. They used to do there's like 3 events in Australia. They used to have the Maldives event that would come right after.
Cannon.
So it was rad
Rip
because
that
you'd
thing.
get some momentum. Like it's kind of hard when you're like 6 months off and then you jump into the season and then it's one event and then it's like another month off and then another event. It was rad to like get some momentum and then like find success. And then at the end of the thing, if you had 4 events in a row and you got hot, even on the QS, you could be making 30, 40 grand
right.
in a 2-month span. You go home and then you qualify. Where it's hard when you're like event, break,
Let's
different
check
spot.
out this replay. Cannon.
Yeah, he went to town on this wave.
Take it away, boys.
You think he's still gonna say it? What was he say? His board's all right.
So no, it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
They're only pretty good ever.
It's got to be interesting being a shaper because I just deal on the sales sides and there's always the but. Like I love this board, but, or I wish this thing did this, or it goes so fast, but. And I'm like,
I wish I was a better surfer. Sport's great, but
That's a
I wish
good
I surfed
input.
better.
that's what I'm gonna add in.
We were just talking about events. What about the event, the Fishbowl highlight? We got that. We are just talking about all these surf events.
We
Nate,
also have our new segment.
We
what's
got
that?
a new segment.
The Quiver one? Yeah, okay,
Come
let's
on,
pick a
Fishbowl or
quiver.
Quiver?
We got another segment we came up with. It's called Pick Your Quiver. Let's cue it up. Okay, you guys got to pick which board you would ride at this break. And trust me, they're not boards you would normally pick. So here's you are. You're in Indo. You pull up to this perfect left, reeling. Every surfer's dream. Maybe it could have been a little hollower, but that's
Pretty.
just
That one's pretty big.
that's a big one. Okay.
Is that Ulu's?
Yeah, it looks like Something
Race.
like that.
Hit the you cut out right at the good part.
Right when it's going to
double up?
start barreling, double up.
Right
We'll
when
just
the camera
pretend that
pan
it
away,
that
that's
it
what happened.
barrels and doubles up.
Do people like chime in on this too? Or
Yeah,
just us?
people can comment live.
Yeah,
They're
I'll put
gonna-
up a poll in the YouTube chat.
There's going to be a reader poll. Okay, show us the 2 boards we get to pick. You got to pick one of the 2. Here's your first option.
Nope.
The wooden nose rider, 9-2.
Backside.
Yep. And then, but your second option is going to be this thing.
I beat up both. You know what board I'd take? The smooth operator.
No, you can't pick that. You got to pick one of these
Yeah.
crappy
I was
boards.
gonna say smooth operator too.
Those things are so
Okay.
sick.
Okay,
I'd
if you
ride
got to
that
pick
thing.
your,
I'd ride that thing. I'll participate. That
Here's the
longboard
wave
would
one
be
more
a
time. Let's
nightmare.
watch that again.
What is it?
it's either a knee board. There's a knee board. You either get the knee board or the long board. Basically.
I'd go longboard.
Okay, Matt's going longboard.
I'd go knee board.
Nate's going knee
Yeah.
Do you
board.
have the knee board or can you stand up?
I mean, you can do whatever you want,
Stand
but it's
up
a knee
on that
board.
thing on that wave.
What's it? Did people still
That's
knee
what Tom
board?
Curran rides on the the right out off the top.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
watches?
Tom Curran would pick that one for
He'd
sure.
go right.
Oh, there's not
that-
fins. It's the
towards
bottom.
temples.
But there's no fins. It's kind of like
no
finless.
fins at all.
Looks
Damn.
like there's little like bumps
It's
down
like one of those
there.
things you
Like a
do behind a
wakeboard? That's
boat,
supposed to be
like
for
a
the
knee
lake,
board
or-
behind a boat.
I'm
Yeah,
going that thing.
that is what it is.
Like a hydro
it's
slide.
a
Remember the
boat knee
hydro
board.
slide?
Can I put on reef booties since it doesn't have a leash?
Okay.
All right, we're
Okay, Matt's going longboard.
I could ride that wave on that board.
Okay. Matt's going longboard. Nate's on the knee board. Guess we're gonna see what the public thinks. What would I ride?
All right, we're
I'd
tabulating.
probably the longboard without fins. That's gonna be pretty hard unless you're Tom Curran. So I'm going.
You could just belly board
longboard.
it though. Knee board it.
What if it barrels on the inside? You're gonna. Don't
What's
you
the
wanna
leaders
stand
on
up?
that thing?
Yeah, with swim
Yeah.
fins, you could boogie board that thing with swim fins. Kick yourself into that wave.
That's like Matt said though. That's a big wave. Look at the guy that goes
Pretty
over it.
big,
That's
yeah.
not small.
This is awesome because we got one of the best servers and one of the best shapers in the world picking
just-
crappy boards to ride.
How about the guys?
But you would go smooth operator if this was a lost quiver. If you could pick any lost board.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'd
the
probably
public
ride
has
it so
spoken.
fast.
80% for
Smooth
longboard,
off.
obviously.
Did you have a poll over there, Omar?
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah, we
pull.
had a poll.
A
I would
pole?
ride my driver because that's what I ride every day, or my sub driver. That's all you need. You like those graphics? We made all that shit. We do
Got
that.
a 70s vibe, huh?
Yeah. Noah's got some replay. Got Noah Alani here.
No, Lonnie.
He's filmed guys like Chloe Andino
New
for
Lonnie.
years. He knows how to not miss a clip because he gets snapped on if he misses a clip.
It's always my best wave in Hawaii just now. I was like, I mean,
The guy missed
cameras
it.
weren't pointed on me that much.
course
but
not.
I
They
didn't
never-
get my
they
best
never get
clip.
the
I was
best
so
one.
fucking bummed. I was shitting myself paddling into it too.
Cade, Killer Cade.
Killer.
Oh. He went 2 killer on that one.
He's working his way back. He didn't surf for 6 months.
What's in the water in this town? Why is every kid ripped? Any theories on that, Matt?
Steroids. When everyone's hitting
It's
the roids.
obsessive. Yeah, what else are you gonna do in this town? I mean, we're surrounded by water on one side and marine base on 2 sides, and we have a little gateway up going north to Orange County at the very top end. So, what are you gonna do? Play football or surf? We have a good football culture in this town, actually.
Wow.
Oh.
Look at going for it.
He went for it. He wanted the
The
clip.
cool part is too.
We got one more. Cole Hauschman. Hushman or Hauschman?
You guys a live
I
act?
call him the Persian powerhouse.
Persian powerhouse.
He's a powerhouse for sure.
Is that Cole there?
He shrunk. That was
Is
a
that the replay of Cole?
call it bird.
Oh, here we go.
Look how low he gets. Look at his legs are square.
Wow.
Oh.
Look at
If
that.
Ramsey Buakheim, however you say his name is, like,
Bokheim?
that should be the inspiration for this guy, leopard head.
Yeah. Kind of
And
the
he's
same.
more
big boy,
agile
too.
He's
too.
more formed out almost.
Hey, so
Yeah.
back to you were saying the fishbowl.
Yeah.
how-
Oh, yeah. Where?
So
Can we cue the fishbowl
hold on,
stuff
I'm gonna
up?
lead in
Okay.
story.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you were
Okay.
saying how this show came about.
You got shut down, right?
So when I was, the last time I did it, I got barred. But when I was a kid, they used to have the alumni day here when you're on the high school team. And so all the past alumni would come down. I remember like 2 weeks before it, I'd be like, no way, it's alumni.
Here we go.
Everyone's
There's
a
the thing that
winner.
got you in trouble. But dude, look at the kids that are in this thing.
Dude, and
Half
all
these guys
these-
are on the CT now.
Yeah, there's Seabass, Geiselman, Gudang, one day, brother. But anyways, the
that
alumni
Rivy right
day.
there?
Yeah,
That was one good day at Rivy, huh?
Chippa.
How'd this all come about? Tell
So
us what this
alumni
is.
day, I remember as a kid was like the raddest day ever. I remember one year,
What's dose?
it's
Who
probably the
knows?
song. And as I got
Look at
older, I'm
Griffin.
like, I talked to the San Clemente coach here, and I was like, hey, you guys should do that again. He's like, yeah, I don't think
Tosh.
it's just hard to coordinate. There's Jet, one of the days.
That's a day, yeah.
Dylan Graves. There's
We gotta
yeah,
bring
the
this thing
Groms,
back.
dude, are so micro. Now they're men.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I used to love that day. Just being able to. I
Stale
didn't
fish.
know most of the pros in town because I was, freshman in high
Hagen
school.
Johnson.
Hagen won it a bunch of times. And I was like, dude, we should just do an event where the pros surf together with the kids in town. I remember how
Who's this
impactful that
guy?
was as a kid, and like, why not put together an event? The first year was kind of a like, see who showed up, and then the last couple of years, like we had Tyler Wright come down for the girls one year. I think I hit Matt, and he had her come down, and did like Chippa
Look
Wilson,
at
and
Cannon.
oh my gosh.
We gotta bring this thing back. Maybe Salty Crew Lost Surfboards collab.
But the
Go
kids,
live with
these are
Alani
middle
Media.
schoolers. So I mean, how psyched did you be to surf
Crosby.
against some of the, some of the best
Yeah.
surfers in the world as a little middle schooler, and it's your teammate. So that was the inspiration. Something I did when I was a kid that I remember being like one of my favorite days of the year, and brought it back. And the last year I was telling you, I had my buddy bring down a big blow up castle thing with a slide coming down, and that wasn't on the permit. It was going into the water, and like all the little kids were jumping out of the thing. And someone came down to check on the contest, and like, what is that thing? Like,
No,
I
that's what
figure it's
got
better to
you
ask
in
for,
trouble.
yeah,
It's
ask
easy
for
to get
forgiveness.
grouchy about San Clemente and all the permitting that's required to do anything, but at the same time, in your instance, it's a bummer because we all love that event. But at the same time, it's kind of nice the way it sort of keeps the town kind of mellow. It's like we don't have big garish signs everywhere and obnoxious billboards and lights and tall buildings. I understand why they're such sticklers in this town. They try and keep it cozy for
Gotta
us.
keep it cozy beach town style.
cozy.
What would be? I've always thought would be the ultimate is somehow get a permit at lowers, like maybe through tie into a charity, go that route because it's a fortune.
Who's
if you
this
wanna get
Grom?
permit.
He's on a lost board too.
That's Chucklehead. That's Rogers. Hayden Rogers.
Hayden Rod. Look at every person out here rips.
Hayden Rogers, I think he won the event one year, the Fishbowl. We ran it for 5 years. Then the last time we had it, we had like
Cannon.
five bands the night of the party.
Combo
Like-
cannon.
It was insane. Pichu was a part of that.
Look, is there even one adult out here? Or is just
They
Groms
are.
regulating?
Well, most of them are.
Dude, pan back. They're all gnarly grown. And it's
I know.
actually uncrowded, believe it or not.
Well, you know what? My theory at lowers, I have to wait out the back because there's way more order. Every time I try to go in the middle or inside, it's like a pack of piranhas. There's no way you're getting
the
away.
middle's like that movie, that Javier Bardem movie, No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
No
Old men
going
are out the
there.
back.
Yeah.
Don't go in the middle or inside.
Yeah,
or
you discuss your mortgage and your life and all the
Yeah.
problems and difficulties, and you take turns catching set waves.
That's the conversation out the
Yeah.
back is about mortgages and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, look at we're
Politics.
getting. We're getting
We've been going for about an
who
hour.
got-
Oh, we've
Is
been
there a
going for
set
about an
coming?
hour.
Yeah,
Should we
okay.
wave Cannon in
I think
right
probably
now?
figure out how to get him in here at some point.
I'm going to take the zero. Look at that little south pole.
I'm going to wave him in. This is how we do it. Oh, my God. The waves are 10 times better than when we pulled up.
And it's gotten warmer too. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to call it.
All right. Thank you, Matt.
go
We
to
were
work.
joined by Matt Mayhem Biolas, one of the biggest
you, sir.
dogs in the surf world. Thank you.
Nasty Nate.
We got Big Deluxe, Nate Yoemans.
Look, there's the Persian.
Dude, Cole Hausman snapping. Well, the waves are way better than when we showed up.